Hi everybody, it's Patrick Connor with the HCC Specialty Cars in Dallas, Texas. Today we're going to do another shop tour. We've got some interesting things that have come in and we can't wait to show everyone. I'll have to be brief on a lot of these cars because we do have a lot of cars to go to see and talk about. And as most folks who know HCC know, we love a good Porsche 993. And we have a few to talk about today. And they sell about as quickly as they get here. So many of the cars I'm going to show you have already sold. This is a 1996 Midnight Blue 993 C2. Absolutely gorgeous color with a gray interior. This car has kind of had the HCC upgrades, which includes suspension, Pfister 2s, short shift kit. We do a classic radio on these cars, and a few other things to make them just drive better in sort of a more modern way. Love this car. We sold it. It's going home to its new owner soon. We just have a couple more things to do to it. This one was quite a find. It's a one owner, 1995 Guards Red C2. The distinctive things about this car was the owner added some of the RS splitters on the front. It has factory sport seats in the car. It also is very low mileage. It only has about 30-something thousand miles on it. Super excited to have it. Turbo twists. Car sold very quickly, and it's getting the full upgrade as well. The Pfister 2s. We're putting some KW V1s on the car, short shift kit, PPF, etc. Car will be ready to roll comfortably for a long, long time. Super great car. This one just came in. It is actually for sale. It's another 1995. Obviously white with a black interior. It's about 68,000 miles. This car spent most of its life in Dallas, although we bought it from Florida. Enthusiast owned its entire lifetime. Over that time, it's had many of the same upgrades that we do with suspension, exhaust, short shift kit, etc. Really, really excited about getting this car on the market. And it drives great. A lot of these cars, some of them feel better than other ones. This car feels dead on perfect. All right, so now a little more modern. Another very unique car that we have here from a collection that we recently got, and I'll share more about that with you because we have a few cars to go through. But a 2015 991.1 GTS, which of course the GTS is a little extra special, a little bit larger horsepower, has the power kit on it. This particular car was built with about every option checked, has a tremendous amount of carbon fiber, sport seats. It is a PDK car, just a really, really nice build. Also a lower mileage car, and we just put it on the market. I believe it's already on our website. Really, really nice car, cab, love that. We talked about the 91 964 Turbo, and the last time we did the garage tour. Super cool car. It is sold and it's making its way to its home here very shortly. Next we have another Safari build. In this case, it's a 951 Porsche 944 Turbo from 85. Pretty cool build. It's just kind of interesting way to get attention, and we like having it here. It's a lot of fun. A good version of a 951, if you will. Sort of in the shadows back here is a 2012 Fisker Karma, a very gorgeous car. Fisker designed many cars that has some of the best designed cars out there, including some Aston Martins. This car is on Bring a Trailer and closes sometime in a few days, but just sort of a neat relic of electric car pasts. This is one we're super excited about. A Venetian Blue 87 911. And a little extra special thing about this car, as you can see from the badge, it's got a 3.6 Vario Ram engine out of a 993. And this car is really well built. Amazing exhaust. You can hear it everywhere in the best of ways. But most importantly, the car is just in tremendous condition. The interior has the dark blue dash carpets, and then the cream colored seats, and they're just really, really well preserved. As many of you know, the 87 to 89 cars had the much improved G50 transmission, which this car also has because it's an 87. Great wheels, great stance. We really love everything about it. We're excited to have it. It is for sale. This car y'all haven't seen before. This is the car that I drive every day now. Really unique. It's a 97 C4. It is not a Vesuvio edition car, but it is Vesuvio gray metallic. It was ordered that way from the factory. It's a Euro car. The car came from the Netherlands. And not so long ago, it was built to a 3.8. So this car is just a great version in between the naturally aspirated car and the turbo car, kind of like a GTS is to some of the more modern cars. It's just that and a little bit more. I love it. It was extremely well cared for. Black interior. We've done our treatment to it with the radio, with the classic radio, with the Pfister 2s, has the hollow spoke lightweight wheels. It's been lowered. I believe that this may actually be the rest of the world sport suspension on the car right now. We'll most likely do what we normally do, which is the KW suspension on it. And we don't always do short shift kits on the four-wheel drive cars because it doesn't make as much difference. So it doesn't have it. We may add it at some point, but love it. Hopefully if you see this car, that means we're there. Now we're gonna move to a little different from what we normally sell, no longer Porsches. I'll go through a few cars we got. Mentioned earlier there's a collection. Have a friend here in Dallas that asked us to sell his collection so that he can start afresh. And first, it's a 2019 McLaren 600 LT, which is the track version of McLaren's car. In Porsche language, we call it like the GT3. Very, very nice car. Lots of exterior carbon. Interior is fantastic. I just drove it a few minutes ago for the first time. This car does have downpipes and a slight tune, and it's just really, really special to drive. You feel all the feels, and it's certainly fast and looks terrific. So love the white. It's a very pure car. Next up is a 72 Pantera, and I needed a little assist there, but a 72 Pantera. So this car is very special. I would kind of call it the top of the heap for Panteras. As many of you know, it's an Italian car, an Italian design, but they used the Ford Cleveland engine. This car was modified in about every single way. So obviously, well, maybe not so obviously, but this car was literally built to be a show car. The factory wide, these are not factory wide fenders. They were widened when the car was restored and built to the point where it is now. Not much about this car hasn't been touched. I mean, the deep dish wheels, I don't know how well you can tell, but I mean, literally I can stick my arm all the way in there. It's crazy just how the wheels are set up. The interior is very, very fresh. This car is very loud and raw. And of course, the best thing about a Pantera is, and especially when they polish them up, is the engine. This car is just kind of all engine. So this car, they literally polished the metal on the entire engine and transmission. This is a 408 now. It's been bored to that, and it'll go. I think it's rumored to have about 700 horsepower. And I don't feel like I need to be the one to find them all. So then next we have another car that's on Bring a Trailer right now, selling this for our friends at Texas Collector Cars. It is a 59 Corvette C1, first edition of those cars, restored 10, 15 years ago. And it's really, really amazing, impeccable car, very clean. Fuel injected cars were sort of a rarity at that time. I think they only built from 57 forward, they only built a couple of thousand fuel injected cars. Next to it, we'll go back to Europe. This is a Lamborghini Jalpa. And the Jalpa they call sort of the baby Countach, but super, super cool car. We've sold it before for a friend here. And so it's really nicely, it's in great condition. The paint is amazing. The most current owner added the gold sort of Countach-like wheels. Interior super clean, but these were Lamborghini's last V8s. They are mid-engine car, but it is a V8, so it sort of sounds more American than the traditional V12 Lamborghinis at the same time. Some of you all may recall, we had a Countach in here last summer, which later sold at Monterey last year, but very, very cool kind of version of that, if you will, mini version of it, and a lot of fun to drive and beautiful to look at. So we'll be taking this to a concorso that's going on later this week in Dallas. All right, we're gonna move into the other room here. We'll start with a couple of 356s that we have. So it's somewhat of a new thing for us to have 356s. We have this car on consignment. It's a 64C with an older restoration, cosmetically and interior-wise, but it's had a new restoration mechanically, and it kept the carburetors. I think it upgraded some of the ignition and stuff, but you know, these cars are really pure, very nice to drive. 64C was just sort of the base car at the time. This car, now that it's been built mechanically, it's more like an SC, This other one, this car's got a great story. This is our car that we're selling. Love driving this car. Truthfully, I drive it as much as I can. This is a last year 1965 C, 356C. The owner that we bought this from has owned the car since it was 2 years old. So he owned it, 65. So he got it in 67. This car is called Champagne Yellow. It has never been repainted. It has never been restored. It has never been upgraded. It is literally a true survivor, and it's fantastic. We had a good time taking the car when we first got it to Ed Mayo at Mayo Performance in Euless, Texas, who does a lot of work for us. And he looked at it with suspicion that it was an original car. And by the time he was done with it, he was driving it off the trailer saying that he was going to do the work on the car, which he did, and did very, very nicely. But he appreciated the aspects of this car, that it was just so original. There are a couple of sections or pieces of the car that have had paint, but generally it's all original paint. Just super, anybody can literally jump in this car and drive it. And this car is just, no sticker was replaced, nothing was painted. It's just how it was. The car was driven very regularly, which I think is a testament to these cars do great as long as they keep being driven. 24 Carrera T. This car is ice gray metallic, and it's got all the right build. So we have the sport bucket seats, lightweight bucket seats. We have no sunroof. We have full leather, including the dash, and it is a 7-speed manual. Real joy to drive. I get it. It's the mini GT3 or the sort of the cheaper GT3, if you will. But it really is neat to have this car. It does feel lighter. It feels a little peppy, and they also, from what I understand, take a tune very well. Then we'll move to a beautiful and rare car. It's an America Roadster, a 964, 1993. Very, very limited production on these cars. They made 250 of them. Obviously a black car with a linen interior. This car only has 13,000 miles. So it's been a collector car from the beginning. And so everything drives like a new car, shifts like a new car, everything works, fully maintained, lots of records, etc. But the best view of this car is by far from the back or the front, but particularly the back, where you can see the turbo body. So what they did on these cars is, it's not a C4, it's a C2, and they just put a turbo body on a C2 convertible, and it really looks great. The wing is not on the back like a turbo car that kind of, in my opinion, accentuates the extent of the fender flares. Great car, is for sale, love having it. And then we got our GT3s back here, but the first is the 2019 GT3 RS. Wysock edition, belongs to a friend of ours who we're selling it for. This car is obviously a street legal track car, a tremendous weapon, if you will. Has great options. Love the car in black, you don't see that much, and with the Wysock you get the gold. And love the seats with the herringbone or tartan, or I think it's herringbone seat inserts. This car is the business. And then the Wysock on the headrests. A mileage car, really special. And then the last car I believe we went through on the last shop tour video, very, very pure car, 2004, last year, the 996 GT3. Just a great car. This one is particularly good in the sense that it's got full leather, painted console in the center, sports seats, etc. in Porsche Classic Guards Red. So that's what we have today. Come back tomorrow, we'll have more. Kind of joking, but we've been very lucky this week to get a lot of cars, and we have a lot more that are coming in the next few days. So keep an eye on our site. Thanks for your time for watching, and love to hear from you. If you're local, come by and see us.